That's true.
Probably an unflow.
All right, so we're gonna have our election. We're looking to elect a chairman, secretary membership person, and a treasurer. Do you think we need any other officers? I mean, we really just need somebody to coordinate the meetings, take any donations we happen to get, send out notices, things like that. And I can
I
still,
move that we reduce the number of officers to the positions of chairman, secretary/membership, and treasurer.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same?
That's for
Indeed. Discussion. but-
Pardon me? Discussion?
Discussion.
I figure our group would just leave right in.
Well, you're right, you generally would, I'm just saying.
Oh, our door's shut.
We'll try to get to that.
All right, so I'm accepting nominations for chairman.
I will nominate Eric Rodoff for chairman.
Second. What am I being in minutes?
There is no.
Are you ready for the board?
Is there anybody else? Any other nominations for?
Oh, Eric, you're gonna be nominated? You want the job?
Yes.
I don't want the job.
But he'll do the job.
If elected, he will serve.
Any other nominations?
I think you're getting.
You want me to
stuck
do
with
this
it.
3 times?
I know.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations?
I nominate Susie Hughes. Second.
I decline that
I'll
nomination.
second it.
That's not fair.
All those in favor of Eric for chairman, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Thank you for that.
You know what, the rules
I-
are ceremonial passing of the gavel?
That's right,
Can I say
yes.
something to you?
Yes.
You know, the rules of Robert's law
Robert
don't
Rule.
say aye, it says yes.
Yes.
You're supposed to say yes. That's why you've heard all the board meetings go to yes instead
Yeah,
of aye.
I noticed they changed.
Yeah, no, I don't care. I mean, I think it's stupid
Because right
myself.
now
I
we're
like
doing
the aye
the vote
better,
of
but.
Susie, and we can say aye.
Yeah, I like the aye better.
And we have no set rules, regulations, policies, or anything.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we
I just
want.
found the information.
Secretary and membership, chairman or whatever it is, secretary and membership. Do we have somebody that, I mean, I'm kind of asking for volunteers to run too. Do we have anybody that can handle that? Would like to? Larry Hart from Coopersville. Well, he's actually from, and he lives in Stevens County, Great Vermont, but he works in Coopersville. And they just opened a new thrift shop, and he's just been so busy, he's not even available long. He runs Grand Valley Fair.
I would nominate Susan, and I'll tell you why, because number one, you've been really good at it.
I second.
That'd take long.
You don't need to talk to them.
I third.
Would you-
Eric, you really worked.
You know, I really said I wasn't gonna get involved this time, because I really kind of wanted to help the candidates with some information.
But you've been 30.
All right, anybody else that would like to take that job, because I would be happy to pass that along to anybody.
I think the point here is that she's really looking to see.
We didn't look back that way. I see something interesting.
We're gone.
Well, you know, that's, all those in favor of separate immediately. All right, treasurer. We need somebody that's gonna hold our little thing of money. We don't have a checking account or anything because, we pretty much about taking enough money to cover what we do every night. But through this next year, I'm hoping that we'll be having some special events or some projects that we take on. I mean, in that situation, we'll ask for donations for that specific event or project. So,
And before anybody nominates me, I am going to be running for office. My husband is going to be running for office. And I am on 2 other boards besides this one. And I am spread so thin. We have 2 companies. I am just spread like this.
Amy,
I need to regroup. So
they just did the same thing to me, so don't because we're so.
I didn't hear you.
You think I'm sitting home doing nothing?
Wait a minute.
The unacceptable.
The unaccepted speech.
Unaccepted speech, ahead of time, find someone close.
It would be nice to get somebody else's interest.
All right, I have a question.
Okay, I'll second that.
Me too.
Good.
And it's been
You've
thirded.
been thirded. We've decided now when you're thirded, you don't have to vote.
That's new Robert's law.
That's sort of like double.
Good, you can carry the can. Yeah, are there any other nominations? I move that we accept his gracious job and acclamation.
Aye.
Thank you.
And now the executive meeting will meet next week in Hawaii.
$170.
Yeah. We can get you to the bus station and that's it's not a good night. Eric, I'm passing this. I'm
Oh,
passing
you
the.
can't pass it off to me right now, you gotta finish it. You gotta finish the meeting. Nothing
I'm trying to think, what else,
Let me just add one other thing.
And?
Because you're going to continue as you had with this mailing list. One thing that I'm awful at, and please, if you can be better than me, it may not be good enough, but if you've got names of people that we can add to our mailing list, name and an email address. If you can think of somebody, just send an email to Susie or bring it with you. It's probably better to send the email, I would think. We need to expand that list of people who would be willing to get information from us.
you know, maybe next month, I'll print that list out, a couple to go on each table, so you can look at the people that are on the list. And if you notice somebody that you know on that list that's not coming,
That's a good idea.
please give them a call. Because, you know, and Jim and I discussed this before, we made it through a non-election year where nothing was happening. And now it's really, really important that we stop our existence and we begin to thrive. And it's so important. And our whole purpose of being here is to promote conservative values in the candidates that we elect. And we're going to be electing them this year. The time is now, so we cannot waste any time in getting more people involved. So.
And super thanks to Susie and Eric and Tammy,
And you?
Cat and Fred, well, the executive board that did see us through. You guys did. Thank you. I know the pay was,
But it was,
$20,000 a year.
it all worked hard. I mean, it was tough just to hold on during a non-election year. And there's a lot going on in our lives, and in the summer too, we have a lot of people, let's face it, one thing that hurts this group and this movement is the people in the Tea Party are old enough to know what is happening to our country and look ahead and see what's happening to the future generations that will follow us and what kind of shape we're going to leave them and this country in. And that's what's brought us here. But that also dates us. Let's face it, Eric's the baby. So, I mean,
He's the bridge to the
you know, so I'm
younger
just saying,
generation.
you know, and he's already struggling right now in trying to start up a conservative Republican group at Muskegon Community College. And believe me, that's a struggle. But we do need to recruit some young people, and I don't know how, because for some reason, they don't see the urgency. And I don't know, I don't understand how Acorn managed to get all of those kids, you know.
Because they promised us.
But even then, Ron Paul has the whole following of young kids. He's doing it somehow. I don't know what's up.
Well, he stands for something.
One thing
And-
Jim and I discussed, and we're going to talk to
Here,
Bill
we
Cooper. I mean, Bill Cooper was our, you know, the Tea Party fair-haired son, and he did not win, and he now does not reside in Muskegon County anymore. But he does have a really good conservative base in Muskegon County, and we're hoping that he will give us the Muskegon County mailing list that he has.
Well, Bill's going to be my guest. Susie will be co-host, but on February 12th.
Right.
We'll send some information about that on the show. But next Sunday, this coming Sunday, Cat and Fred is the co-host.
What happened to the black guy with the Black Panthers?
He is coming on the week after.
He's the Black Panthers?
No. We have a guy who was a,
Oh, yeah, I'm like over my head here.
in the, yeah, because we have no black guys coming out. He's a member, he's a Palestinian, I believe, was a member of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Oh.
And he has turned a corner, and he'll be coming, he'll be, actually, we're recording that show. That'll be the week after.
Are you recording it because of terrorist threats? I mean,
Absolutely, yes, as a matter of fact. He doesn't want to come. He's got he's got an entourage of guards and stuff, of bodyguards. Now, he is in,
Now, is this
this
the guy
week.
that he's got all of that because he switched faiths? and
Kamal
now
Salim,
he's
yeah.
gonna let,
And he actually
giving
is
people a lot of insight
is
into
in,
what's going on.
he's going to be in some churches this week in West Michigan.
What's his name?
Kamal Salim,
And when's that?
Saleen, I believe.
The 18th?
That will be.
No, it's gonna be the
No.
second, the 6th.
Whatever 7 days for 12 is, yeah.
Well, Wednesday's the 1st.
We're recording it because I'm going to be out of town, but anyway, that information is on ionmuskegon.com
It's the 5th.
too.
It's the 5th.
Actually, I ought to put upcoming shows.
Jim is, and just for your information, we could probably use a few prayers for the old guy that hit the slopes in Aspen.
There we go.
Got your helmet?
Yes, I do.
on my taxpayer money.
Not yet.
No, that's a Tea Party one. That's why we only have $180 left.
It's 170.
170.
Um,
Well, we got to start, and we need to communicate, and then we've got a new, fresh, youthful leader, and
With lots of ideas.
and we've got to.
One thing that has made this
There is going to
group
be payback.
so much fun and so interactive is not all of us have the same opinions. And sometimes you get to hear something from the other side of the fence that you wouldn't have normally heard. I mean, Jim and I, a lot of times, our end result and our end opinion is exactly the same, but the reason that we ended up there is totally different.
No, the reason is because you changed your idiot mind to agree with me.
We do.
Is that the way it works, though?
We do have, so yeah, but we do have a really unique opportunity this year. I think more than anything, the Tea Party is really going to have an influence this year.
Well, we do have the ability, I would just say this, we have more clout than we deserve with our small little group. But like Susie said, Peter Hoekstra, who may very well be our next senator, and certainly Governor Snyder's well aware of us. Bill Huizenga is,
Today to sign for,
okay, well,
does anybody want to sign it?
For what? For who?
for Hoekstra.
Oh, yeah, I'll say
Yeah.
so.
I
But
think
if
most
you've
of us
already
sign.
signed up for another candidate.
I haven't.
But if you haven't, yeah. But my point is that there should be some payback for all of our efforts to attend these meetings and to get even more active in this next year. And that payback may be, opportunities to get up front with perhaps Mitt Romney, and who knows.
Well, I
who
will
may
tell you
come
this.
here and
And that, go
We
ahead,
matter.
that question, go ahead, Ann.
No, it wasn't a question.
Oh.
I just wanted to also say thank you to all the previous board members. Truly appreciate everything you've done. And I think all of the guest speakers you had, that was really important to get
Yes.
people
Yeah,
in.
I do too.
And
I do
you
too.
had wonderful guest speakers.
We had, one thing, and I did a really poor job of this, I didn't do a good enough job explaining.
Can I just hold one thing? I believe this can only be for one county.
Was it-
We're all Muskegon County? Okay, I just wanted to make sure we didn't.
I didn't do a good enough job explaining when we had Gwen Williams here to talk about the healthcare. And what I originally, we knew, Tammy and I both knew, she was coming at this from the Democratic side. What I was trying to show you was, this is what the Democrats listen to every single day of the week. And that's why they believe it so much. And if you will notice, she was totally unprepared for any questions at all. We had a gazillion of them. But the Democrats, for some reason, they never ask questions. They just blindly believe what people tell them. And that is what we're up against. And that is just, that's almost an insurmountable problem, that their belief in whatever they're told. So that's, and especially with the media, they believe everything they say, and the media falls right in line with everything they want to hear. And we are also going to face some situations this year. In just a few weeks, the Chronicle, for what it's worth, is going to drop down to only delivering 3 days a week. And that's going to affect people in our generation more than the young generation, because the young generation very seldom gets their news from print anymore. But they get it from media, and a lot of times, social media, and it's the guy next door, unfortunately.
They get it from
But
bloggers.
for a lot of people, in especially a lot of our senior citizens, that the Muskegon Chronicle is pretty much their primary source of news. So that's gonna, no, they're not reducing the price either.
But they
that is
are
gonna,
going to expand it now.
Online.
yeah, online.
Online, and you can actually read the whole paper, adds it on online through the e-replica or whatever it's
Right.
called. But, we're also with the home delivery gonna get more weeks of it for the same price. We're supposed to be able to get additional weeks. Instead
That's
of,
not how it came when my subscription came up.
well, they told me that I'm supposed to get an extra like week or 2 weeks of the paper for that same price.
Oh, they
Because
didn't
they're
tell
only
me
going
that.
to read.
They didn't
Well,
do
that-
it.
That's what they originally said when they were doing that. They may have changed.
Because I
Oh,
called.
well, they might have changed, but that's what,
Okay.
that's the information
Well,
I
a couple
got.
of days ago, or I believe it was Sunday morning or Monday morning, there was an article on M Live. I don't know if it was in any newspaper, but it talked about Paul Keep, who incredibly keeps climbing higher up in this ever sinking ladder. But they're going to move the sports and virtually all the
Yeah, you
reportage
can't sign that.
is going to go into Grand Rapids, at least for the West Michigan deals. And I noticed, because I go to M Live, the Muskegon channel, and then the rest of the state, I bet you 10 times a day. And they have really shrunk down. As of Monday morning, for instance, at 8 o'clock, they had 5 news stories. Well, they weren't even news. 5 stories. 2 of them were articles about Paul Keep. If they want to move us to the M Live site, they're really doing a poor job.
Well,
They really are.
interestingly, in case anybody's interested, like I am, because my son is trying to break into that business. MLive is hiring right now in Muskegon, Ottawa County, Kent County, content developers, graphic artists,
Really?
salesmen.
How about reporters?
Marketing. No, what do we do with those?
See, that's the problem. You're not
Well, I'm just telling you, content
don't even
developers.
spell
Content developers probably their reports.
It's their version of reporters, but it's probably per job, not a salary position.
Yeah, I don't
Could be. Well, that's all right, if you had somebody going to a committee meeting, or, or a city council meeting or something, but I do know this, that anybody who wants to get the word out, whether you're an advertiser, you're a car dealer, or you're a politician looking to get the word out, or you want to communicate with people, in the old days, you could put it in the Chronicle, and you'd get, 90% of the county, and now, everyone is just wringing their hands, they do not know how to communicate. There's no one place to go anymore.
The one thing they have left out is people like my mother-in-law, who's 85 years old,
This
doesn't
is-
own a computer and will never own a computer. And they've left
Well,
that whole generation.
The one thing that
Right,
they say
that's
they're
really
doing,
gonna hurt them.
and I, for the life of me, I don't understand. Apparently, they're printing 7 days worth of paper, they're only delivering 3.
Right, you can buy them at the grocery store.
Well, I understand
Yeah.
that, but they already have a delivery service in place. I know some newspapers mail the newspaper. I mean, the Wall Street Journal, I guess that's hand delivered, but it just seems to me odd that they're making the decision they're making. But anyway, we sat actually last Thursday at Carmen's Cafe, and again, you are invited if you're so inclined every Thursday
every Thursday
morning
morning.
from 8 till about 9:30. But the gal who is it would be. It's Hanson's, Hanson's representative here in town, Maria Gonzalez.
Yes.
Extraordinarily sharp gal, and she's in her early 20s, I would imagine.
Oh, she's really, I
Yeah.
really like her.
Well, but she understands all the social media that the younger people are, I mean, we're familiar with Facebook and others. Well, there's a whole big world out there bigger than what we're aware of. And we talked about, we got to get together with her shortly. But those are the kind of things, she's our bridge, and thankfully, if you're an insightful, smart elected official like I think Senator Hanson is, he's got some young people hired that are connected. But even us, I mean, our only way to communicate, which isn't bad, which is email and Facebook, but there's other ways out there, and Erica's, of course, you're well connected too, so.
Well, and Eric knows a lot of little tricks that are just.
You won't tell me any of the damn things.
You don't,
I
your
changed
mind won't let you listen.
education to me.
Yes, you did. As a matter of fact, you told me many tricks. I take it all back.
He did something by me this week, what the heck?
I didn't say
City
fix.
of Holland.
Ellen now, his web,
What,
Facebook,
he is?
and his www.
That's where he's from.
So it doesn't matter.
To get to his Facebook,
I haven't forwarded that.
I don't think you'd be sending that to me if it
I
was.
got, I
Always
got,
send it to you.
We don't have a website, no, it's just Facebook. So.
yeah, but that's, getting to Facebook's a pain in the bunions. That's a cool idea.
yeah, well, I got.
Actually, it's probably for the whole state, really.
Who's that?
He's
That's
very
pretty
good.
Yeah.
No, girl,
Well,
isn't
Danica
it?
Patrick.
Yeah.
She's not racing to Indy anymore.
I know that.
She still looks.
But anyway, if you go to GoDaddy for $10, you can.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's said he'd go daddy a million times.
Yeah, anyway, so now when I got it ready
I'll
to,
see
I
you
write that
tomorrow.
little bit, I'm not it.
That's cool. Okay, well, we are catching up. All right, well, it's,
No, I'm just thinking, don't worry about it. I just, I still have my homework to do.
Okay.
and I do too.
Courtesy of the investors.
I've got my radio show tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
Do you have anything you want to talk about? Anything you think we need to be doing, we're not doing? Anything you just want to,
Well, the commission races, why don't we do what
Yeah,
the
I agree.
Democrats do, and, run somebody against, run a Democrat against a Democrat, somebody from the Tea Party. I mean, maybe not a registered Republican.
No, I'm running with that.
you know,
If we can find some people like that.
in all honesty, as far as the Democrats and the county commissioner are concerned, I don't care if we run a Democrat against them. It can't be any worse.
No, I think that we
Then let's
can find
switch them all
somebody,
out.
even if it's a Tea Party Democrat.
Are you the Mesquite County?
North Mesquite.
That's John Snyder.
No.
Yeah.
Eric, are you still thinking about deciding whether you want to run or not?
Yeah.
Eric's still deciding, so, and would you have to run against John Snyder for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, assuming I stay at the house that I have right now.
I want to move them down to Fruitport, because we need it.
I need somebody against.
Someone's got to run against
You know,
Marlene.
why don't you and
No matter what
Tammy,
else happens.
I want you and Tammy to just buy a house and live.
That's all.
They can do it.
No.
All right, we're
No,
Perfect, Bagger.
someone can buy me a house
Well,
if we want.
the second, the clerk for Muskegon Township, the clerk that we had in Muskegon Township, nobody liked. And he'd done some stuff and he was, kind of got himself in trouble. And nobody was running against him, so the clerk that we have had a rental house in Muskegon Township. So she just changed her mailing address to that little rental house.
It ran against you?
Ran against him and won.
You know that's illegal.
I know, I know that, but that's what she did. That's what she did.
Anybody else don't play by the rules.
That house was,
No, I know.
the house was
Stop breaking the
vacant
rules.
all the way through the election, and then the election was in November, and she did move into it afterwards, but not till about March or April.
Because somebody probably started.
Somebody said something to her, I think, about,
Yeah.
well, but that house looks like it's empty. Well,
I'm in the middle of.
I really don't think she still lives there, but she's got some stuff there now. There's curtains on the window.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Clap on, clap off, like,
Yeah.
timer lights.
If somebody is familiar with the commissioners, if they can make a list, I mean, I know maybe 4 or 5 of their names and
Okay.
where they're from, but if they.
You know, that's actually a really good idea, because we don't, because the districts have changed this year. We're not gonna have 11 commissioners, we're only gonna have 9, and the districts have changed. I was actually in a district where just only about a mile's worth into, I live just inside of Muskegon Township, but I was represented by the commissioner from Eggleston Township. So Scott Plummer now, that district will have the entire district of
Susie, do you want to send out, I think that's a good question,
I will.
send out the new
I'll
one?
send out the
The
new
new, yeah.
list, and who the candidates are there. And I will have to say this, Alan Jager came down on Jim and I the other day, just a little hard, and said that he thought we were being overly aggressive towards the Republican county commissioners and not being as aggressive towards the Democratic county commissioners. And I took that to heart, and he is right in certain respects. I mean, I guess, and I am to blame for a lot of that, because I think I expected more out of the Republican county commissioners. I didn't expect them to just blindly vote with the Democrats every single time. And until Alan was elected, I didn't notice it. Until somebody started voting conservative, I really hadn't noticed that they weren't. And that's the problem. We don't notice how they're voting unless we actually pay attention. And our lives are busy. We've got kids and grandkids and school and church and jobs, and our lives are busy. We trust those people to be voting as we would expect them to vote on our behalf. And when they're not, we feel extremely let down. And that's one reason I was harder on them than I was the Democrats. But in all honesty, I have to agree with Alan to a certain respect. If we could get just one more guy on there as a Republican, you would, between Alan and say Jim, or Alan and Fred, or Alan and Jim and Fred, they could shame those other commissioners into voting Republican. I know they could. Because deep down inside, I believe that they want to, or at least a couple of them probably want to. But they don't, you know.
I don't think they do at all. I think they vote the way they want. They're not fools.
I don't know, I think both teams, Anthony both would come around a little bit.
Well, she's talking about the Republicans.
The Republicans.
But no,
The other
I think, you know, and I will say this, I agree with Alan. I think,
You have one on the board, that, on that commission board, that really, really needs to go, and they have pitted him now.
You get Luke Bell.
Luke Collins and Mark Engel, if they both choose to run, are gonna be pitted against each other.
and you know what?
And what we
They're
really
both
need is
so
somebody, and
horrible.
they're both
You'd
Democrats.
be better
They're
off to vote
both
Luke Collins, at
Democrats.
least you know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, if
Well,
they have
anyway,
Luke Collins.
you know, that's something
That's
that,
true.
if you look at some of the other organizations, the political organizations, be they Tea Party groups or for instance, the Oakland County, do you get the Oakland County Republican
Yep.
Party thing? They communicate really well. It's just so hard to put stuff, Susie does, I think, a wonderful job at putting together the invites and updates, but me in particular, because I know this stuff and I am writing about it and all, I've just got to put together a weekly blast that I can send out to you to see how they voted. And Ellen, you know what might be kind of neat, either you do something or maybe when mine goes out, you can critique it from, or anybody else for that matter, but critique it from the other side so that we get a sense of what's going on. I had a mayor of one of the cities in Muskegon come up to me this past weekend and say, hey, Jim, have you seen the underfunding of Norton Shores' retiree pension and health care fund? And I said, well, I know it's awful, but I haven't seen the numbers. He says, I've got the numbers, and they're worse than you would imagine. And he said, let's get together. And we're supposed to get together Thursday. I need to communicate a lot of this stuff with you. North Shores, from what I understand, is percentage-wise in worse shape than Muskegon County is, and that's really, really bad.
That's a straight shot. Well, city is in worse shape than Heights.
I hear it all the time, city is in very, very bad shape.
What city?
City state.
Oh, no, I'm talking North Shore.
I know you are, but I'm saying the city.
Oh, I know City Muskegon.
Desperately bad shape, and there's a whole bunch of notes coming due, and they haven't got the money to pay.
And the problem
So
is-
they're right behind the pipe.
The answer is real simple for them. It's raise taxes.
Well,
Right?
it's
It's
not
as simple as that. And we've got to stop them. This way we can win, because that's the way they're going to go.
But the other downside of all of that is that this shared service and this fire department thing, and you keep hearing people talk about,
Tammy, do you have a donation?
oh, I don't have a donation thing, I couldn't find my can, I don't know what I'm doing.
Anybody want to make a donation, we'll take it.
Yeah, you can leave a donation on the table anyway.
You can leave a donation right here,
And she'll,
here.
if you want to,
Not in the envelope,
Right.
but anyway, part of this, like they're talking about combining services and collaboration of services, is code that when the cities do start failing, they come out after the townships and surrounding areas. But the county does not run a fire department. The county does not run an ambulance service. The state does not run a fire department, nor does it run an ambulance service. The only thing they do is take your tax money and return it back as shared benefits. So when you hear on the news that your fire service is gonna leave and your ambulance service is gonna suffer, that's not true. And if you live in an outer community, chances are you pay a millage for your fire department. I do not want the legacy costs of the city coming to my neighborhood.
Right.
Well, at least.
One thing is we're thinking about,
We voted for.
as we start to think about candidates coming up, remember that a guy who's already run for an office is a perfect candidate. He knows what he's getting into. So let's think about looking at our school boards and at our township, city, and village boards, because those people are, yeah, it's an iPad.
Every single
And I
person.
got it,
Every single person.
oh, I got a Kindle. I have some Kindle. I didn't buy the, I had mine for a couple of years, I didn't buy the Kindle.
They just, they
Jim's
erased
got
this
one, which is
concept.
just about
We don't
disappeared.
have money.
Did you? Well, then this was only $185, and I got it from Home Shopping
Well,
Network.
forget it.
And what time?
And no, it's brand new, and I love it.
iPad?
It's an iPad, the only thing is, that your Kindle is wireless, no matter where you are.